The implosion of the Florida housing market is here. And today I'm going to do a deep dive analysis into the most recent data that exists within the village's housing market, within the village's metro, which is comprised of Sumter County. But before I go too deep into the housing market data, which is a lagging indicator of what will happen economically in the future, I think it's critical that we understand what's happening right now in terms of leading indicators. Because home prices are the last domino to fall during the pain of recession and during an economic crisis. But other financial markets price changes in real time. And I used to be a stockbroker for damn near 20 years. And what I know to be true is that when uncertainty upticks, there is a flight to safety and there is a flight to quality. Because the number one rule of investing is don't lose money. And with all of the stress and uncertainty within the banking system, there has been a massive uptick in Bitcoin and a massive uptick in gold. And while this doesn't necessarily translate into housing market data today, I do know that cash seeks its highest value. And when there is a flight to quality and a flight to safety, institutional money tends to find a home. And there was no pun intended there by saying find a home, but they tend to invest in assets where there is scarcity of resource, with low supply and high demand. And over time, they will redeploy their money, accumulate the biggest position possible, maximize the highest and best use of that land, set it and forget it, and over time outperform other markets and other investments which have far less intrinsic value. But as of today, gold extends its surge past $2,000 with the record high now in sight. And gold extended a surge to a 13-month high after US data showed the job market loosening and much higher odds that the Federal Reserve will hike interest rates again. But while all of that plays out, the implosion of the Florida housing market is here. Because according to the most recent data that exists, as far as single family homes are concerned, in the village's metro, which is comprised of Sumter County, home prices are imploding. And to be clear, this is February data. This is lagging. And I suspect as we move into the future, these numbers will continue to decline. Yet to be determined, I don't know, but what I do know is for today, or at least as of February 2023, closed sales in the village's metro were up 2%. And if you've been watching for a while, you know that that is highly unusual. Most markets that I've covered so far have significantly less closed sales. And most of those markets also have single or double digit appreciation. But as you can see in the villages in Sumter County, that is not true. The median sales price is down almost 9%. The average sales price is down 7%, down from $397,000 to $369,000. No bueno if you're thinking about selling in the villages metro. And muy bueno if you're thinking about buying in the villages, because you've got all the leverage and prices are on the downtick. You can also see that the median time to contract increased 300% to 52 days. The median time to sale upticked almost 78% to 96 days. And while closed sales are up, new pending sales are down damn near 19%. And new listings are down almost 14%. And pending inventory of homes for sale is down 23%. But the supply of homes, the inventory, your competition if you're thinking about selling, and your choices if you're thinking about buying, that supply of active listings sitting on the market unsold has exploded, up almost 140%. Damn near 400 single family homes are sitting on the market completely unsold, which is an uptick of 240% in terms of months supply of inventory. There's 3.4 months worth of inventory sitting on the market, which to be clear is still a seller's market, but don't be confused. Buyers have all the leverage. And if we look back over the last year, although you can see there was an uptick of 2% in February, Closed sales have fallen off a cliff for the last year. They have imploded. The housing market implosion is here in the villages. And you can clearly see going back from January to February, massive percent change to the downside in closed sales. 28%, 50%, 42%, 31%, on and on. No bueno in terms of closed sales up until recently, which I'm sure has something to do with the fact that there was a brief window of mortgage rates going down a little bit more favorably. And it's certainly a function of reduced pricing, which takes us to median sales price, which is down almost 9% in February of 2023 to a touch under 342, is massive double digit growth. But if you look back over the course of the last year, you see massive double digit appreciation: 25%, 23%, 30%, 30%, 30%. Well, that was then and this is now. And as of February, we're talking about 9% decline, which is still a far cry from pre pandemic numbers, but it is a trend we must be aware of and must pay attention to. An average sales price tells you basically the same story. Down 7% in February, but when you look back over the course of the last year, 25% gain, 30% gain, 30.7% gain, 29% gain, on and on. Massive double digit appreciation. But in February, we are on the downtick, down 7%, which is critical information to know if you're thinking about buying or selling in the Villages Metro. Which takes us to a very important number that we also must understand, which has a major impact in terms of supply, which of course is new listings. And new listings in February were down 13.5%. And if you look back over the course of the last year, you're going to see a mixed bag of new listings. Down 14%, up 5%, down 18%, up 25%, down 12%, up 5%. And what does that mean for the future? Yet to be determined. I don't know. But it's critical to understand what the supply is in every hyper-local market that you're shopping in, because supply and demand are going to dictate the future of home prices, which takes us to distressed sales. Distressed sales, forced sales were the thing that unhinged the market back during the great financial crisis. And while distressed sales are not a thing in this market today, and they haven't really impacted any Florida housing market as of yet. When 10% of the overall market was distressed sales during the last crash, it brought home values down by 30%. And right now, there are zero short sales and zero foreclosures in the Villages Metro. And unlike the last crisis, homeowners are sitting on a metric ton of equity. Now, I hope you found this content valuable, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. If we can help in any way, then please reach out directly and check out my next video because I suspect you will love it a lot. And until next time,